Hello friends, in this video we'll be discussing about what is basic structure. We all have come across this particular question. What is the meaning of basic structure of the constitution? So in this video we'll be focused on discussing about the basic structure of the Constitution of India. So first of all, let us see what it says over here. The basic structure doctrine is an Indian judicial principle. So first of all, it should be remembered that it is an Indian judicial principle, which is very unique and which was propounded by Justice Hansraj Khanna, that the Constitution of India has certain basic features that cannot be altered or destroyed through amendments by the parliament. So parliament cannot make any kind of amendments or changes that can alter the basic structure. Clear? Now let us see its evolution. The Supreme Court's initial position on constitutional amendments was that any part of the Constitution was amendable. So this was the initial stand of the Supreme Court of India, that any part of the Constitution was amendable, and that the Parliament, by passing a Constitutional Amendment Act, which is in compliance with requirements of Article number 368. We all must have known about this article, can amend any provision of the Constitution, including the fundamental rights and Article 368 itself. Clear? That the Constitution has basic features was first theorized in 1964 by Justice J.R. Mudholkar in his dissent in the case of Sajjan Singh versus State of Rajasthan. He wondered whether the ambit of Article 368 included the power to alter a basic feature or rewrite a part of the Constitution. Clear? So this is what Justice J.R. Mudholkar said in his dissent in the case of Sajjan Singh versus State of Rajasthan in 1964. Now let's see what happened. In 1967, the Supreme Court reversed its earlier decisions in Golaknath versus State of Punjab. It held that fundamental rights included in Part 3rd of the Constitution are given a transcendental position and are beyond the reach of Parliament. So, fundamental rights under Part 3rd of the Constitution are beyond the reach of Parliament, and the Parliament cannot amend them, cannot change them. It also declared any amendment that takes away or abridges a fundamental right which is conferred under Part 3rd as unconstitutional. So, if the Parliament tries to amend any part of the fundamental rights, it is going to be termed as unconstitutional, or something which is taking away or abridging the fundamental rights. In 1973, the basic structure doctrine was formally introduced with rigorous legal reasoning in Justice Hansraj Khanna's decisive judgment in the landmark decision of Keshwanand Bharti versus State of Kerala. Clear? So this is the first, you can say, case where it was given, you can say, a formal introduction where the concept of basic structure was introduced. Now let us see its acceptance. Although Keshanand Although this particular case, that is Keshwanand Bharti versus State of Kerala, was decided by a narrow margin of 7:6, the basic structure doctrine as propounded in Justice Khanna's judgment has since gained widespread legal acceptance due to a number of subsequent cases and judgments which relied heavily upon this particular doctrine to strike down parliamentary amendments that were held to be violative of the basic structure and therefore termed as unconstitutional. Clear? So we'll see now that a lot of cases after the judgment in Kishan Bharti's case relied upon this particular doctrine, and it striked down many of the amendments of the parliament and termed them as unconstitutional. Now let us see few of the prominent cases. The first among them is Indira Nehru Gandhi versus Raj Narayan, 1975 case. Clear? Now here the Supreme Court applied the theory of basic structure and struck down clause 4 of Article 329A, which was inserted by 39th Amendment in 1975 on the grounds that it was beyond the Parliament's amending power as it destroyed the constitution's basic features. Clear? This was during the emergency. The 39th Amendment Act was passed by the Parliament during the emergency period. This act placed the election of the President, the Vice President, the Prime Minister, and the Speaker of the Lok Sabha beyond the scrutiny of the judiciary. And also, this was done by the government in order to suppress Indira Gandhi's prosecution by the Allahabad High Court for corrupt electoral practices. Next case we'll see over here, Minerva Mills case, 1980 case. Very, very prominent case. This case again strengthens the basic structure doctrine. The judgment struck down two changes made by the Constitution by the 42nd Amendment Act of 1976, declaring them to be violative of the basic structure. The judgment makes it clear that the Constitution and not the Parliament is supreme. So what does judgment make clear? That it is the Constitution which is supreme and not the Parliament. In this case, the court added two features to the list of basic structure features. They were judicial review and balance between fundamental rights and DPSP. What will happen in case of a conflict between the fundamental rights and DPSP? Next, the judges ruled that a limited amending power itself is a basic feature of the Constitution. Very important point that is made in this particular case. Next prominent case we have over here is Vaman Rao case of 1981. The Supreme Court again reiterated the basic structure doctrine in this particular case. It also drew a line of demarcation as 24th April 1973 as the date of the Keshavanand Bharati's case, and held that it should not be applied retrospectively to reopen the validity of any amendments to the Constitution which took place prior to that date. So any kind of amendment which took away any of the basic of the, you can say, fundamental features or the basic doctrine features from the Constitution was held that the Supreme Court would not be looking into those cases because it would not be applied retrospectively. Clear? And the 24th of April 1973 was the date chosen, that all the laws or all the amendments made after this date, that is the date after the judgment of the Keshavanand Bharati's case. So all the laws, all the amendments made after this date would be subject to judicial review or judicial scrutiny. The Vaman Rao case held that amendments made to the ninth schedule until the Keshavanand judgment are valid, and those passed after that date can be subject to judicial scrutiny. Clear? This was held in the Vaman Rao case of 1981. Next very important case, Indra Sawhney versus Union of India, 1992. Supreme Court examined the scope and extent of Article 16 Clause 4, which provides for the reservation of jobs in favor of backward classes. It upheld the constitutional validity of 27% reservation for the OBCs with certain conditions like creamy layer exclusion, no reservation in promotion, total reserved quota should not exceed 50%, and so on. Here, rule of law was added to the list of basic features of the Constitution. And what is rule of law? We'll be seeing in the next lectures. S.R. Bomai case 1994, again very, very important case. In this judgment, the Supreme Court tried to curb the blatant misuse of Article 356, and this article talks about the President's rule or the state emergency. In this case, there was no question of constitutional amendment, but even so, the concept of basic structure doctrine was applied. The Supreme Court laid down certain guidelines which are famously known as S.R. Bomai guidelines, to be followed by the central government before imposing Article 356 in any state. Clear? So in this particular case, the Supreme Court laid down certain guidelines which are to be followed by the central government before imposing Article 356 in any of the states. So it is, you can say, pro-state, because it is giving relief to the state, protecting the interest of the states. Now let us see the definition of basic structure. The basic features of the Constitution have not been explicitly defined by the judiciary. So the concept of basic structure has never been defined explicitly. Only judiciary decides the basic features of the Constitution. in Indira Nehru Gandhi versus Raj Narayan, and also in the Minerva Mills case, it was observed that the claim of any particular feature of the Constitution to be a basic feature would be determined by the court in each case that comes before it. So Supreme Court is the final interpreter that what is basic structure, what constitutes the basic feature of the Constitution. So there has been no explicit definition of basic structure or basic features of the Constitution. Now, some of the features of the Constitution which are termed as basic are given here. Supremacy of the Constitution, rule of law, principle of separation of powers between the organs, the objectives are specified in the preamble to the Constitution, judicial review, Article 32 and Article 226, federalism, secularism, sovereign democratic republican structure, freedom and dignity of the individual, unity and integrity of the nation. The essence of other fundamental rights enshrined in Part 3 of the Constitution, the concept of social and economic justice to build a welfare state, that is DPSPs in total, the balance between fundamental rights and DPSPs, the parliamentary system of government, the principle of free and fair elections, limitations upon the amending power conferred by Article 368, independence of the judiciary, effective access to justice, powers of the Supreme Court under Articles 32, 136, 141 and 142, and welfare state. Now we'll see the significance of basic structure. Let us see the significance of basic structure of the Constitution. Now first we have independence of judiciary. It strengthens our democracy by delineating a true separation of power where judiciary is independent of other two organs. It has also given immense untold unbridled power to Supreme Court and made it the most powerful court in the world. So we can see that independence of judiciary is very essential to maintain the proper decorum in the country. Protection from authoritarian regime. It certainly saved Indian democracy from degenerating into authoritarian regime. Clear? Next, citizenship rights. By restraining the amending powers of the legislative organs of state, it provides basic rights to citizens which no organ of state can overrule, and these rights are known as fundamental rights. Clear? And being dynamic in nature, it is more progressive and open to changes in time, unlike and the rigid nature of earlier judgments. So it is very dynamic in nature, which changes according to time, and therefore it is progressive in nature. Now, influence of the basic structure in other countries. Now, after the basic structure doctrine was formally propounded in the Krishnan Bharati's case, we'll see over here countries like Bangladesh, Malaysia, Singapore, Uganda, they also have incorporated this concept in their constitutions. Clear? Now, some of the very important questions which comes from this particular topic, let us see one by one. First, what do you mean by basic structure of constitution? Discuss its evolution and the significance in strengthening democracy. Next question, can parliaments change the basic structure of the constitution? And third, is preamble a part of the basic structure of the constitution? So try answering these questions, okay? And we'll be discussing these questions in the next videos. So thank you all for watching this video. I hope you all have liked this video. So do subscribe to our channel and click on the bell icon. And you can also join our Telegram channel over here. The link is given here to get daily questions on various subjects like history, geography, constitution, economics, MCQ questions on these topics. Clear? So thank you all very much.